Hey, victory and praises, everyone. Welcome. I'm Casey McBride,
Hi, I'm Eris Handley.
and this is the Space Shaman YouTube channel. We are the Earth and Ether Experience. So we're going to talk a little bit today, kind of do a little bit of a conversational podcast style thing, and then if anyone comes forward in need of healing, we'll be doing some energy healing as well. And we just want to take 1 second to confirm that we are actually live. Because we've had it before where we started and it wasn't actually broadcasting. Maybe refresh the page. Because if we're talking to no one, that's no fun. Okay.
There we are.
All right, cool. We're live. Awesome. So I wanted to talk about the fact that, I don't know, just interacting with the energetic worlds and the various beings that reside there is so powerful and can have such an incredibly real impact on us and the way that we feel physically, mentally, emotionally. And one thing I haven't really talked a whole lot about on the channel in the past, but that I have a lot of experience with, both personally and helping clients, is entities. And this is something that's, it's talked about a little bit in the New Age community, but not in a lot of great detail. And so I just want to share first an example from a couple of years ago of something that happened to me when an entity entered into my system and was causing me to think and feel certain ways, and how I resolved it. So I was working at a particular spiritual shop, and I was talking to a woman there, and she said something that kind of triggered something in me and caused a reaction in me that acted like this kind of window for that entity to come through and get in. And at first, all I noticed was that, like, wow, I feel so heavy and so incredibly foggy right now. And I felt really off. I didn't know why. And then I got home, and later that evening, I was laying in bed, and I actually started to have thoughts like, you should kill yourself. I should just kill myself. And I don't have thoughts like that normally. And so I immediately was like, okay, what is going on? I need to investigate. I looked, and I was able to see, feel, identify that there was an entity in my system. And as soon as I did that, I started to do work with my guides. We did work to integrate and heal and allow that entity to move on. And as soon as that happened, maybe 10 minutes after I recognized it was there, all that heaviness, all that fogginess, those thoughts, all were just completely gone. And I felt totally clear, peaceful, happy. And it just, like, I think about that sometimes. And I'm like, man, how many people are suffering with that, having these suicidal thoughts, feeling so horrible, heavy, depressed, anxious, and it's just an entity that could be dealt with in a matter of minutes or an hour, and then they've been carrying that for years, and just don't know about it. So I'm just really passionate about helping people to realize that there's so much more going on and that we have more power and control over the way that we feel in these circumstances we find ourselves in, because it could really save people's lives.
Literally, it does save people's lives. And this reminds me, I saw this somewhere a few years ago where somebody did a research study that was like compassionate and like to connect with these people who tried to commit suicide and actually failed. And they were saying how like some people would like jump from a high place, and like they actually survived. And each person who survived, as they were in the act of trying to end it, they had this like bodily response of like, no, this isn't right. I want to live. Like, I don't want this to happen. And like that like really touched me so deeply, and it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just like there's so much in our physical reality, but there's so much more in the unseen realms. And so having a relationship and a balance with both, that kind of harmony, is so essential for everybody's well-being, and not just for suicidal thoughts and tendencies, but just like well-being in general.
Absolutely. And back before Christianity and modern medicine kind of took over, if especially when people were living in tribal cultures or even empires like the Incan Empire and things like that, when you were feeling, if you had like suicidal thoughts, or you were really anxious or depressed, or you just felt really off for whatever reason, the first thing that you would do is go to your local shaman. and they would investigate, and they would be able to help address these things. And that knowledge of how, and it's so powerful because, some people, they are put on pharmaceuticals for years that have all kinds of nasty side effects, and then those create more side effects. Sometimes they get worse.
And then they get more medication to counteract those side effects.
And all kinds of, and then they go to psychotherapy for 50 years, but they still have all of these issues. And I've actually had people tell me after a session like this, people came to me like ready to give up on life, ready to just like end it basically. And they saw me for a healing session. An hour later, not only were they not ready to give up on life, but they felt like happy, peaceful, and excited about life, and free. And that knowledge has been suppressed. That knowledge has been deeply suppressed, but it's coming back into the world. And that's something we're really passionate about, is helping people to realize how much power we have over these things, and how it doesn't have to take 50 years of psychotherapy. It doesn't have to take all of these medications. And I'm not saying psychotherapy or medications are bad.
Right.
They really can help people, but there are other ways, and in some cases for some people it's far more efficient and powerful to address the direct energetic underlying causes of these things.
Yeah, beautifully said.
And I do just want to put this up here for eventually for people. If you have a question about anything we're saying, anything we're talking about, please comment. Or if you are in need of healing later on, if people are in need of healing, we'll offer some one-on-one virtual shamanic healing, whether you have emotional
little mini sessions.
Yeah, just kind of cleansing the things that are showing up right now, and not going all the way deep into the root causes of things.
Yeah, finding a nice balance.
Yeah.
And I want to say, because you brought up the topic of entities, I would love to like shine more light on what that really means. So in like a tangible and grounded way, we've been like talking about it a lot lately because it's been coming up in our reality a lot lately, you know? And so I just want to introduce that, like what it really is about.
Absolutely. So entities, they're not evil. We have this idea in the West that things are either good or evil. And in these shamanic traditions, we don't see things that way. We see that certain things are heavy and certain things are light, but that doesn't mean that they're good and evil. Oh, geez, we almost lost the camera there. So entities they're spiritual beings who are usually either just deeply out of ayni, deeply out of reciprocity with the universe, or they are, and that could be because they're very wounded. They have their own wounds, just like how there are human beings who are very wounded at very traumatic childhoods and things like that, and end up preying on people in ways.
Wow, you know what? And this is like coming through now. I'm realizing that like you saying that just brought this up of, it's like entities have like they are their own conscious beings, like some are less conscious, some are more conscious, like similar to humans in a way. And it's like they have this perceived separation from source, this like lack of wholeness. And so their function is to like find that outside of themselves. So to like fill a void in somebody else, like a codependent kind of relationship.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so then I don't know, did I cut you off or can I keep
Go ahead, keep it, because I don't remember what I
was. Okay, I'm sorry. I just got so excited and I wanted to like say that before because it felt like it was like needed to happen or else it was going to disappear.
Yeah, it's all good.
I got excited.
Yeah, continue.
And also that like brings me to how we were just talking about how entities need some sort of window into your field, your reality. It's kind of like an invitation when we all have different aspects of ourselves, unintegrated shadows, and if we have an unintegrated shadow, it's kind of like this fragment of ourself that has been rejected and is separated from the wholeness of our being. And then the entity can sense that, and it's like a resonant frequency with that shadow. And then they can like enter in as if it's an invitation to then fill that void within you to create a sense of wholeness for themselves and also your unintegrated shadow as well.
Yeah, before I forget, can you please check on your phone just to make sure we're still live streaming? Because I keep seeing people popping on for like 1 second and then leaving. And I want to make sure that something didn't go wrong with this stream and that we're actually still live here.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay, good, perfect. Yeah. So, and again, those windows, those invitations, they're like usually unhealed aspects of ourselves that are kind of like, I don't know how to put it exactly. Zane put it so beautifully yesterday. I'm trying to remember, but I'll use my own words. But I'm trying to remember and put into words what it kind of feels like for me. But for example, if a person has a lot of resentment around injustice, right? Resentment around injustice, and they feel that, and when they come across someone who has a similar wound, and that person has an entity inside of them, and they get to talking about that, and that brings up that resentment of injustice. It's like you're kind of letting that person's energy in and their same kind of wounded frequency in, and that opens up this pathway for that entity to jump from one person to another. So that's one way that it can happen. But there's many ways. There's sometimes, I mean, and I've come across this many times with clients where uh, we actually subconsciously reach out to these beings and form contracts with them. So maybe someone felt really unsafe as a kid, they were abused as a kid, and they're sitting in their room at night and they're just thinking, I wish someone would please save me. And their spirit feels that, goes out and reaches a very strong being and then brings them in and says, and their spirit kind of unconsciously forms this contract with them and says, hey, as long as you can stay in my body, you can be in my body along with the spirit that belongs here, and in exchange for you protecting me and keeping me safe right now. And then that can be beneficial. And in some cases, it can save people's lives when things like that happen. But then the relationship evolves, and that being starts to feed on more and more of their heaviness. And those beings can then start to trigger more and more situations, more and more thoughts, more and more behaviors that create more heaviness for that person, so that they can feed and feed.
So
and
that they
feed.
still have a reason for existing in that body.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And in those cases, that and any case where there's an entity with someone, we usually will investigate, and I would never bring that up to someone,
Hey, you got an entity.
yeah, I would never just tell someone that. But if I'm in a situation where I sense and I know that we're right here, right now, and we can do something about this to heal this entity and to help this entity move on and to help that person to become more whole, then we address that. And that can create massive shifts in people.
Yeah, and it's not like we're trying to just like remove this entity and like send it somewhere where it can suffer and like learn its lessons because it's been bad, it's like it's innocent and it's just doing what it knows, it's doing its function. It's like essentially stuck in an unhealthy pattern and it doesn't know how to free itself from that, and like a lot of the time when we have done healings with people where we do connect with this entity and it's like, hey, look at all the suffering that you're doing, like like you're not benefiting, this person is not benefiting, and then ultimately much of the time they do want to heal as well once they kind of have that awareness open for them.
Yes. Yeah, and sometimes it takes, like you said, like really showing them, like, hey, look at all of this suffering that you've created, and kind of creating the right energetic atmosphere to snap them out of the illusory kind of
Power trip.
that they're in. And then a lot of times those beings will feel a lot of like regret and sadness, like, and like, and they'll apologize and things, and it can be really beautiful.
It is.
It's a healing for both parties. It's not, like you said, not just like, hey, entity, get out of here and go suffer, we're going to punish you. It's no, you're a beautiful conscious being just like I am. Let's work so that you go your way, I go my way, we'll both heal and mend in our own way separately.
Yeah, like consciously ending a relationship, whether it's like a romantic relationship or a friendship, like an intimate relationship, that it's like we are no longer benefiting from this, so it's time for us to go our separate ways, and we can do that lovingly and peacefully.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's not like a removal or like is like harsh extraction. It's like a loving healing for everybody who's involved, and therefore it benefits everybody who's involved.
Yeah, absolutely. My mind just went again to make sure we had audio on this. Did you hear if we had audio?
You're really stressing.
I know. I got traumatized because we had this amazing conversation. It was so cool, so beautiful, and then no one could see us. Okay, we're good. We're good.
I think that it really cut out that one video though, because we were talking about ETs. Thank you, Sacred Beholder says
Thank you. Yeah.
audio is good.
I
Awesome.
appreciate that when
Yes.
you guys pop in and let us know about that.
Thank you. I really do believe that like that one live stream got all like blacked out because we were talking about extraterrestrials like the whole entire time, talking about past lives like so freely, like breaking the matrix AF. So I think that things are happening to kind of be like, no.
Yeah, it was really wild, and it was like my favorite podcast that I'd
Yeah,
ever
it was
experienced.
truly epic.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we got all kind of, that's the beautiful thing. We like never run out of things to talk
No.
about.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could do all kinds of podcasts.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I just want to say on that note that when we first started dating 2 years ago, for like months and months, we would hang out for like 10 hours a day, like every day, and just talk.
Yeah.
Like the whole time, and like in like deep grounded presence, you know, not just like blah, but
yeah, we
like
would
never run out of things to talk about. It's
yeah,
so cool.
we probably talked more than most people do in the first like 8-9 years of their relationship and our first year of our relationship.
Yeah.
Because like you said, because you know we're both very fortunate to be in positions where we don't have to be at a 9 to 5 job every day like that. We have more freedom and stuff like that. So we literally would spend like 10 hours a day just deep
catching
soul
up.
level catching up. Yeah, it was. I like that you put it catching up because it
Yeah.
is. We've known each other far before this life, and I recognized her. It's the second I saw her in this life for the first time, I was like, oh, I know exactly who she is, and we're gonna be together forever. And here we are. And it's been so beautiful.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, lots of fun.
Yeah, we do. We have the most fun ever. But yeah, anything else you want to say on the topic of entities? Well, actually, I want to share. Uh, in my own experience, both myself and working with people, it is just amazing um, how not only these for a lot of people it's not obvious, I guess is what I'm trying to say. For some people, they have an entity that's causing really chaotic thoughts, chaotic ways of behaving, and when they're experiencing it, they just think it's themselves. They just think, I'm really depressed, I'm really anxious, my thoughts are really manic and crazy, or whatever it is. The entities have a way of kind of making it seem and feel like it's your own native thoughts and emotions, and
but
so
even manipulating things in your reality, it's like yeah,
and they make it hard to identify that there is one, and so that's where it's very important. If you don't like, I have a very high level of awareness around that because I have so much experience. I've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of energy or entity healings for people, and so I have a lot of experience with it. So when I notice when something is off in me, I check that, and then I'm able to identify it usually no more than a few hours after it starts. But I mean, there are people that it's years that they're experiencing this stuff, and so I just really think like like just check in with someone. If you got a friend who's a spiritual healer or a shaman, or even go to a reader or something, so I like check in with someone who has the ability to read that stuff because it can change people's lives. And I remember this one lady. This happened several times, but one lady pops into my mind in particular. After this healing she had, we removed this entity. And she was like, wow, she's like, it's like I can see the world in HD for the first time. And like, my thoughts are so quiet. I've had like this voice in my head that I've been battling against for so many years. And it's just gone. It's quiet and clear and peaceful. And like, how life changing is that, And so, yeah, so I really want to share this medicine with people more. Yeah.
Me too. And I want to circle back to you saying how it can be really hard for people to identify like that this is not purely themselves, you know, and what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I was gonna say that so much of the time, just like the society, the culture that we live in is to identify with the mind, to identify with the thoughts that you're having. You know, it's like you are your thoughts, so think happy thoughts, think positive thoughts, and you'll be a positive person. And it's like that's not all there is to it, because if you're ignoring your body and your emotions and like your spirit that is meant to take up space in your entire body, most people live from like the neck up.
Yeah.
And they don't even know what they feel like. So it's like, hey, how are you feeling? And like a lot of the time they can't even tell you because they don't know. They're disconnected. So it's like my like biggest prayer, my like biggest teaching that like I wish to share with everyone in the world is just like connection with the body, connection with the emotions, allowing yourself to be in deep union with yourself so that you know yourself so beautifully and so deeply that when things do arise, you're not just like identifying with your thought. It's like, you can be present with it, acknowledge like, okay, like this energy that I'm encountering is showing me something within myself that I have not yet looked at, but I don't need to be wrapped up in this story or be wrapped up in this experience. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm going to respond to that, but I just want to pull up. Jay Dove is here. It says, "Hey guys, what's up?" Hey Jay,
hey,
welcome. Stick around if you want. If you're in need of healing later, hang out and we might do
yeah,
a
in a
little
few
healing for you.
minutes, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll see.
let us know
Did
if you are in need. My story? Yeah, I think it's good. Yeah, we covered a lot of it, so it's good. What were you? Oh yes, we were talking about this a lot yesterday on the podcast with Zane as well about in the new age spiritual community, there's so much of this like it creates a paranoia in people of like I can only think positive thoughts, and any negative thought that I think is going to come back to bite me in my reality, and it's going to cause my world to crash around me, and so people get paranoid and they don't allow themselves to think their natural thoughts and feel their natural emotions. Like I have to be on high vibe emotions all the time or it'll lower my frequency and ruin my frequency and my consciousness. And we are dynamic beings. We're meant to experience the full range of emotions and all of the thoughts and all of their raw creative power. And there's nothing wrong with any thought.
Mhm.
There's certain things, there's so many thoughts that we should act on.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with having any particular thought, no matter how weird or wild it is.
Yeah. And a lot of the time, just being in a space or like if you're in connection with someone, like you can pick up on their thoughts too. So that's another reason why it's so important to not identify with your thoughts, because depending on who you're around, you like I remember the other day I was actually I was hanging out with my uncle, and I've been enjoying the weather. This was when it was like more cold outside. It was like kind of snowing here and there a bit more, and I remember I was hanging out with my uncle and I was like, I've been enjoying the weather each day. I'm so present with it. Like if it snows, if the sun's out, if it's cloudy, if it rains, like I love it all. And I was like hanging out with him and he was looking out the window, and I heard this thought. I had this thought of, oh, I just want it to be spring. I can't wait for it to be spring. I hate the snow. And then I was like, huh, like that was like interesting. And then like 5 seconds later, my uncle was like, I just want it to be spring. I'm so tired of the clouds. And I was like, whoa, that wasn't my thought. Like that was just somebody else's, because the thoughts just kind of float around.
Yeah, the thoughts, we have this idea that thoughts are in the physical matter of our brain.
Yeah.
And they do end up there, but they originate from our energy fields. Our thoughts are in the energy field around us, and the brain just kind of acts as a transducer. And they're actually, Joe Dispenza has science that's starting to prove this. But the brain is just kind of like this transducer receiver that takes energetic information, turns it into images and words in our head and all of that stuff. But so yeah, like, and we have it all the time where like every single day basically where I'll out of the blue just say something completely random and off the handle, and she'll be like, I was just thinking that, or the other way around, or we're thinking the exact same weird random thought at the same time. It happens all the time.
We say things at the same time too.
Yeah.
Like on that live stream that didn't end up working out, like there was like 3 times in a row where we said the same thing. We were like, whoa, dude, like, are you in my brain?
That's amazing.
Yeah, we do it with songs too. I do that with my mom, also my uncle too. Yeah, especially when you're close with people. It's like that telepathic connection and communication. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, telepathy is very real. It's very real and possible. I remember during early on in my awakening when I was there was very chaotic, but I also had access to higher degrees of certain powers than I do now. And I remember I could go up to people, I could teach them how to create this frequency, like this ringing in their head, and then I could have them send thoughts through it. And so I remember like one time I tried this with someone, and I had them send this thought, and they're not talking, they're just sending a thought into my eyes, and I heard them go, "What's up?" And then I waited, and they're like, "What's up?" And then I waited, What's up? I said, you just said what's up in your head 3 times. And they're like, whoa, what? They're like, I thought you just couldn't hear me, and that's why you weren't responding. You were just, but I was waiting for them to say it 3 times to be something more specific, you know? And that really freaks some people out who
Oh my
weren't ready
God,
for that
yeah.
kind of thing.
That's so cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I first had my awakening, I could totally hear people's thoughts too. And then it was like it got super chaotic because I was like wanting to know what people were thinking and then wanting to know what they were thinking about me. And then that got very chaotic and like super uncomfortable and I was like miserable until I was like, okay, I did things to shift my energy from looking externally into like going inward so that I was like, I don't want to know what people think anymore. Like
Yeah.
I don't. So that's not the superpower that I want.
I remember I thought I wanted to think what people,
Yeah.
I wanted to know what people were thinking too. And then I said that to someone that I knew at the time, and they're like, no, you
No,
don't.
you don't.
And I'm like, what do you mean? That'd be so cool. It's like a superpower.
It's cool for 5 seconds.
And they're like, do you really want to know the depressing, boring, anxious, unconscious thoughts of all of the people walking around you right now? And I was like, yeah, no, no, I don't. Never mind. I don't want that.
No.
If anyone's watching and you're interested in receiving some healing, please comment. Let us know what it is that you're in need of healing for. We'd love to do at least one healing, maybe a couple, if there are people in need. There'll be a physical pain if you're hurting physically or emotionally, if you're anxious, depressed, or something's going on. Let us know. Let us know if you're in need of healing and if you're open to receive healing on a virtual live stream setting. We'd love to do that.
Yes. And again, this would be a mini session. It's not like the full depth. It's not just
it's not like going into the deepest roots of what's causing this. We're just kind of doing a cleansing to help you feel better, you know.
And to show you what's possible too.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'd love to do that. Jay, what's going on, Jay? You still watching? You need some healing, buddy? Sacred Beholder, how are you feeling after the healing the other day? How do you feel after that?
Yeah, we'd love to know how you feel.
Love to check in. Love an update. Let us know. I love I've been getting so much confirmation about like everything spiritual and all of this like lately. So many just individual things, and I'm like, wow, like yes, this is so real. So I was talking to my teacher this morning, my shamanic teacher, our shamanic teacher, I should say, and I was telling him how I kind of discovered this new way of working with my kuyas.
Yeah.
I know
you mentioned it on the live stream.
Did I mention this already today?
Not on the live stream.
Oh, okay.
No, you showed them what you're about to say. So like they'll know if they were on the live stream a couple days ago what you were doing with the kuyas.
Yeah, so I basically have this new way of working with the stones in my Misha. So this thing, my Misha, my medicine bundle, there's like 13 stones in here. And I was work with the Misha as a bundle, but I discovered this way to like use the stones and their individual medicine to work with people to heal certain things. And then it was also acting as like a divination tool where I could use the stones to do a reading on what the person needed healing for, and then use those stones to help them with that. And it was really beautiful and fun, and I was flowing with it. And so I talked to my teacher. I sent him a voice message, and I explained the kind of healing I was doing in this unique way with the kuyas. And he's like, oh yeah, that's very traditional. The Pacos do that all the time. That's like one of the primary ways we work with the Misha. But he said that he stopped teaching it to his students
right before you started.
Right before I started training with him.
Yeah.
And so he's like, yeah, so you never heard me say that. So you downloaded that directly from the lineage, from the tradition.
And so remembers from when it was a Paco before.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's just so cool. It's that was confident because I was sitting here and it felt really powerful to me, and it was really fun. And it felt beautiful, and I loved it. Just to hear the confirmation that something that I discovered on my own was something that's been practiced for thousands of years by the Pacos.
Yeah, that's so epic.
So cool. J Dove says, I would love a blessing of peace because I have been dealing with the loss of my mom. Okay, Jay, are you open to a little bit of healing for that? Can you tell us when you feel that grief or whatever the emotion is around the loss of your mom, where does that live in your body? Do you feel like in the pit of your chest and your gut? Do you feel it in your heart and your throat? If you could just let us know where you feel it in your body, and then a couple descriptive words of what it feels like.
We'll say, yes, I am.
A couple descriptive words of what it feels like, maybe like pain, sharp, tight, heavy, or something like that. And then if you could also give us one last thing, a scale of 1 to 10. How uncomfortable is that sensation in your body?
I'd love to start with a light language blessing to like
Sure.
set the scene and open it, and then you hop in. Does
Yeah.
that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay,
Sounds perfect.
cool. After J Dove responds.
Yeah, J-Dove. So
Mm.
yeah, let us know. So again, just to recap, where is it? A couple descriptive words of what it feels like, and 1 to 10 how uncomfortable it is. And this again, it's not the numbers and all that stuff aren't all that important. What it does is it gives us a tool for tracking the progress that we're making in terms of treating the underlying energies that are preventing that emotion from moving through.
Beautifully said.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like it helps the ego also kind of see where we started and where we are when we're finished, which
Yeah.
is really beneficial to like reprogram. Like things can change and flow and shift very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like from my chest up, I feel like crying sadness just seeing my mom in the hospital. Yeah.
Jay, scale of 1 to 10, how uncomfortable is it? 1 is like, say, for example, it's barely noticeable. It's there, but you're barely aware of it. 10 is like this discomfort, this heaviness, that crying like feeling you're feeling is so uncomfortable that it's all you can think about. That would be a 10. So, scale of 1 to 10, where are we at with that?
When it hits me, it's like a 3 and a 4.
Okay. So,
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
is that where
I can feel it in my chest too.
okay. And Jay,
My
know
throat.
that it's okay during this time where we are right now, bringing up this healing. This is the time to feel those emotions and express them.
Yeah.
So it's okay to cry. It's beautiful to cry. If we're working on you and you feel the urge to cry, please don't hold back.
Mhm.
Let yourself cry. Let yourself feel all of that. Let it go.
Yeah, this is an opportunity to give yourself full permission to do whatever it is you need to do. If that is cry, if it's scream, maybe grab a pillow and scream into the pillow, or if it's like to lovingly kind of like touch your face or like give yourself some physical touch, like whatever it is, like just giving you permission to do that. It's safe, it's okay. And um yeah, before we might talk a little bit before we start, but when we start, I'll start by speaking light language. And this is just an invitation for you to drop deeper into your body and just feel these words in your being. Let them resonate where they will. Perhaps it will um, help you feel your emotions a bit more, to dislodge them, to then have some sort of release or maybe just a deeper understanding. So just being open to the possibility of that and just feeling.
Yes. And with that light language, I'm opening my Misha right now. I'm getting all the stones set up for you. But with the light language, with those words, really tune into the sensations, like Eris was
Yeah.
saying, of how they feel in your body. Not so much paying attention to trying to figure out what these words mean because you won't understand them, but feeling the sensations of energy in your body. Like really tune into that and feel that.
Yeah. Yeah. And even if you don't feel anything, that's fine too. It's just being present to whatever shows up for you is all that you need.
Okay, go ahead, Mila. Can I rattle voice?
I'm not gonna sing.
Oh, okay. I thought you were singing for some reason.
No. Niata si siwata, hianatai si siwanatas, duananati si shuanakas, duanatai hiatasat, huatash, dias, ki si shuanatas, diata ti shuanat, diasa ka su hufunadas, diata si tu shuanatai, iakata hiata shatuanai ti sitis. Hiti sihuananait, hiata ki si suanates, diata ka su tuanatai, hiasha si, diana si, hiatas, diananai sis, duana hiakas, Diatashasan, Dianatai, Hiatas, Hiasis, Dis Suanat, Diatas Kanat, Hihuanto Sufutus, Diakas, Hi si Sitanta Suantan, Hiatasata Suanatas, Hi Suatasi Suanadai, Huatasasashasanadai Hiatasaka. Duanatasis disisanai hian dufunosis nakai sutuanasit diatas duatas dis hiatas hianak das shit swan hiatas hiesasash huadasa sakadasakuanas Disisi Juanatas, Disinatai, Ginatasu Funotos, Diantan, Guanatai Hianas, Hiatashi Suantasikon, Duasesas, Hianas, Diatai Huant, Kanatai Hai Swantan, Tuashasas, Huas.
Jay, just keep your attention on that area where you feel that sadness and that heaviness. Keep your attention on it. Look at the screen and stare at this stone. Take a moment to just take the image of this stone in. Look at it. Remember what it looks like. And close your eyes and remember that. Hold the image of that stone in your mind's eye. Feel its unique vibration, its unique light, its unique tingling and energy flowing through you as you hold this image in your mind's eye. As I begin to drink its energy into my navel and allow it to move through me. Feel a cool energy, an energy like a breeze on a snowy cold day, flowing in to this area, flowing through and starting to soothe some of the energetic inflammation in this area, to start to calm down these sensations and to allow for space for some of this heaviness to flow out. Feel that cooling, tingling sensation like the breeze on a snowy day. And as that happens, I'm going to come in and use this stone to start to clear out some of the heaviness, to start to dislodge some areas where the heaviness is particularly shielded and stuck, to help it to move out. So allow yourself to start to feel these energies, these emotions moving from the spot where it's all stuck up and uncomfortable. Feel the energy of it flowing throughout your body and energy field and starting to flow through and out. And I'm going to reach into the middle of this and I'm grabbing onto something. There's a particular part of this where it's particularly shielded, where you've suppressed it, where you've kind of pushed it down inside. I'm going to grab onto this little mechanism and know that you're safe to feel all of this. We're holding space for you. I'm going to snap my fingers, and that's going to allow some of this that's been suppressed and pushed down to come up and flow out. Feel the energy of it, feel the emotion of it, and don't hold back. Don't contract in fear. You are safe to feel this. It's okay. You are held. You can feel this, and you can handle this. You are strong enough to do that. So as I come in, I'm going to snap my fingers, feel the release, and feel the flowing of that energy in 3, 2, 1. Feel it moving through. Yeah, that's good. I'm bringing another blast of cooling air into the base of your sternum, into your lower heart, pit of your chest. Feel that creating movement and the emotional energy there. Let it all flow. I feel you're kind of contracting around the head and the throat a little bit. Take a breath into those areas. Breathe in, and on the exhale, just relax. Relax the
Relax
energy
into
around
your
them.
heart. Yeah, relax into your heart. Be present with what's there.
Open.
And a reminder that the grief and feeling loss also shows how much love you have, how much love you share. And that's beautiful.
Grief is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's painful, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it shows us that we're alive and that we love so deeply, and that's the greatest gift, is to love. Yeah, you're doing great.
Jay, I want to check in. We're going to continue working in a moment, but let us know, is there any of that discomfort left, or is it gone? And if there is any of that discomfort left right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how uncomfortable is it now compared to before?
Yeah.
Check in and let us know.
Yeah, what emotions are you feeling?
How do you feel?
Yes.
And we're just taking a little moment to allow this energy that we've gotten moving to continue to move out at its own pace, to continue to integrate and flow. Just taking a short little rest here.
Yes, I jolted and I feel better, lighter.
Good.
Mm.
How do you feel? Is there? Do you want to continue working? Do you want to work a little bit more to completely integrate what's there right now, or do you feel good enough to where you feel good to end the healing here, and just allow the energy? Because the energies will continue to move for a while. And how do you feel now? Do you want to continue to go a little bit more and see if we can integrate the last of that discomfort? What do you want to do? It's up to you, Jay. Is there any of it left? You said you feel better and lighter. Is there any of that uncomfortable, painful, crying like sensation left there, or is it gone?
Yeah, and if you could, okay, I would continue a little bit more. And before we continue, I'd love to know, where are you at emotionally? Like I know you say you feel better and lighter. So if you could label an emotion or an experience in your body, what does that feel like for you in this moment?
And again, the numbers also help us to track. So if you could let us know, like, are you at a 1, a 2, 0.5? Let us know where you're at there too. That's very helpful. I am peaceful.
That's beautiful.
Okay,
Okay.
beautiful. All right.
I
I'll
would
say
say
I'm
I'm
a
a
0
0.
now. Perfect. So in that case, Jay, I'm just going to have you can continue to watch the stream and be present for all the other healing energy. But I just want you to sit with yourself, like Eris was saying, relax into your heart. Relax into your heart and allow all this energy to continue to flow and move and just do what it needs to do. So just allow it to continue to flow. That's perfect.
Yeah, and if you find yourself clenching anywhere, you can just take a little breath into that space, and then after the breath, once you exhale, allowing it to relax a little bit more. And it's okay if it is still a little bit tense, just staying gentle with the breath, and it does help to dissipate.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you, Jay. Thank you so much. Jay, if you want to go deeper into this stuff, if you want to dive, because this is kind of a cleansing to help you feel better for now, but if you want to get at the root cause of this so that these emotions don't continue to drive your life in a way that you're not very that's not very beneficial, book a full session with us. The links are below to book a full session. We'd love to see you for that. And if you want to say thank you for the healing that you just received, you can donate. The links in the description, or right here on YouTube, you can send a super chat, or a super sticker, or whatever you want to do. But we love that. It's a beautiful way to maintain reciprocity, to maintain balance in the energy exchange. So if that feels light for you, we'd love that. Or, if you want to show appreciation by writing us a review somewhere, going on our YouTube page or Facebook pages and writing a review or something like that. All of that is greatly appreciated and helps us. You're so welcome.
Yes,
and thank you, Jen.
You're welcome.
Thank you for coming forward and being open to healing. Is there anyone else watching who's open to healing right now? Anyone else who would like, because that was amazing. Look at what just happened. We had, maybe like 10 minutes or so, and went from a lot of uncomfortable energy, feeling like he was going to cry and having pain in the throat and all that.
You have Instagram. Yes, we are Earth and Ether Experience on Instagram. It should be actually linked down below of this video as well. And we also have our individual Instagrams too.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, we'd love to have you there. And then Gabrielle. Yes. So you say you want healing, and also they said much love above during our healing. So yes, much love to you, Gabrielle.
Gabrielle, what's going on? What are you in need of healing for?
Yes, and do a little quick cleanse.
Yeah, let's do that.
Gonna cleanse that energy, prepare ourselves.
I keep forgetting. It's beautiful. I'm forgetting that my foot hurts.
Yeah.
Because I was about to put my foot up, and then I was like, "Ooh, no, I better not."
Yes. You be careful.
That's amazing that I'm forgetting.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. Take one of those, dude. I don't know what you're saying about this. Okay.
We're dragons. This is how we breathe fire.
Yeah. We're dragons. That's cool. Don't worry about it. Yes, stress and heartache. My mom just had another stroke. Absolutely. Well, it seems like there's an energetic theme with this coming up. Yeah. So the energy's right for it. That's what we're doing today. So cool. Yeah. So Gabriella, if you could just tell us where this lives in your body, this stress and heartache. Obviously, you said heartache, so you probably feel it in your heart. But describe exactly where you feel it in your body. Is it in the pit of your chest? Is it in the center of your heart? Is it in your throat? Is it in your gut? Where do you feel this stress and heartache? And then on a scale of 1 to 10, how uncomfortable is it right now? 1 being like it's there, but you're barely aware of it. 10 being it's so painful in your body that it's all you can think about. So give us a number.
Like starting with light.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Yeah, you want to do that again? Awesome.
Center of your chest. Burning. Okay. Very descriptive. We love it. Thank you.
Thank you for the description.
Yeah. And
9.
It's a 9. Okay. That's actually perfect that it feels so intense. Because much of the time when it is an intense level of being experienced, there's more opportunity to really give it its chance to flow and release or do whatever it needs to do. So that's actually perfect that it's at a 9.
Absolutely. And Gabrielle, are you really ready? Are you ready to invite us in to receive healing for this? And are you ready to shift this? Are you ready to allow these emotions to move through and run their natural course as they're supposed to? And are you open to the possibility that this feeling could shift completely in a short period of time? Are you open to all those possibilities?
She said, absolutely. And also what we're doing, we're not forcing anything to happen. We're not like these magicians pulling a rabbit out of a hat or anything. We're just helping to encourage your body and your energy field to do its natural process of healing, to bring that to light too. So yes,
we're removing certain things in these healings. When we do full healings, we go deeper and we address some of the deeper wounds and causes of what's causing these things to continually arise within us. But during these sessions, we're basically, to put it really simply, and there's other things that we do too, but we are moving heaviness is one of the primary things that we do. We move hucha, heaviness, out of the system so that these emotions aren't stuck, so that they
Yeah.
can flow on their own. Because no emotion is meant to last in our body for more than about 20 minutes at a time. Some switch within 2 minutes or even less. So what we're doing is removing the obstacles in the way that are preventing this emotion from naturally moving through
Yeah.
and running its course. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to start with light language, Earth, that'd be
Okay.
beautiful.
So yes, and this is also an invitation for you to feel this 9-level burning sensation in your heart, to invite it, welcome it fully, whatever is being experienced within you, to hold it in as much love and compassion as you can. And we are here to support you with that, through that. And yes, I will start speaking some words in light language. And this is to your body, to your spirit, to your heart, to help support you with this. So just being open to feeling any sensations, any emotions, and then honoring their expression, whatever that may be.
Yeah, and allowing yourself to feel right now and not running away from it. Yeah, allow yourself to feel all of it, no matter, even if it gets more uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Don't run away, don't suppress. Now is the time to feel it. You're safe to do so.
Yeah. It's so safe too.
All right.
Yeah, you can do this. Yadasi suanan, diasa saka suan hai hi suantan, duashisi suan, hianatas, giatas, hi suantans, suanasisikasash, duanasis, disi huana hiata, guanasa shuati, duanasisina hiatat, watas kushuati suiata da hiana da sis, diata da hiana da suan. Guswa sa sa ta hi siananti diasa si suasi siatas siasasas guanhas diasha sa suas diasa suan hufwa siko hiatas dianas hias sash swat di si guan ha hias hi si suata si kana hiatas dis hiasatas guatan hiasas tuasat hiatataki nana suant disuantas gianas hiatasuantakas dika na di si sua das dian sufunasitis gian diatas diasisuan hiatas hiatas dias hiat gayatasi sisuan diatas duanatasi sifuante sisuanasis diasas su duanatasi kianatas duasi suan hiatas su fukulos do sutiant sis diasas piu piu piu.
You could look at the screen for a moment. Look at these two stones. Just I'm trying to kill them even. Hold them in your mind's eye. Just like kind of remember what they look like. Looking at these two stones right next to each other. Remember what they look like, and in a moment after you close your eyes, just hold the image of them in your mind's eye. Just imagine them as if you're still looking at them. So look at them for another moment, and now close your eyes. And remember, keep that image of those stones in your mind's eye. And feel their energy by holding the image in, and with me connecting to your spirit with these stones, feel their energy starting to flow through you, their own tingle, their own vibration, flowing through your body, your mind, and your heart. Hmm. Hmm. Sensing, and I'm not going to go deep into all of this, but there are a lot of emotionally unresolved issues with your mother. We're not going to go into the specifics or anything like that, but I want you to feel where you hold on to that. And part of this heartache and this sadness is that I believe that you're, in a way, afraid or even resentful of the fact that you may never get the chance to fully resolve all of these things, to say the things that needed to be said, to hear and receive the things you needed to have said to you, etc. So I want you to feel that in your heart. Feel those things and remember what those things are. And as I blow a breath into your heart, feel the energy of the divine feminine, the natural feminine, flowing into your heart and opening you up and creating a space inside of you for you to feel new sensations. Feel the energy of that breath I just blew entering into your heart space and opening and creating space within a night in a soft and beautiful, yet loving and protective, powerful, feminine way. Feel it.
Also calling out to the hummingbird, Siwarkinte, ampwe, ampwe, ampwe. The hummingbird is the medicine of the heart. Allowing the hummingbird to weave new frequencies into the heart and around the heart. Resonant frequencies.
And once again, I want you to come back into that field. We've opened space around it, and now you can feel a little more clearly those sensations of those fears of the things that need to be resolved and said, not being resolved and said. I want you to go into them with your awareness, feel them fully, give them your full attention. And then I want you to bring in the medicine of forgiveness and acceptance. Even if it's uncomfortable to fully acknowledge and feel that, I want you to say, you know what? It's not worth it to hold on to this anymore. It's not worth it to punish myself, to create all of this discomfort and uncertainty and fear within myself, this resentment within myself. I don't need to carry this anymore. I'm going to bring these stones in front of your heart, spiritually bringing them inside of your heart, and I'm going to click them together a few times. As you hear them clicking together, feel yourself letting go bit by bit with every little click and allowing all of this expectation, all of these past resentments, these fears to just start to loosen, loosen, loosen more and more and more, and start to move through so that new sensations can move in and out. Feeling them loosening.
And trusting that if you need to express anything, whether that be to yourself or to your mother, trusting yourself that you can do this. That it is safe to do this. Disiwan chansi sikanai. Diakasituanata hiatas koyata.
Take a breath. Take a deep, fresh breath, like you're on top of the most crisp, beautiful, fresh air mountain you've ever been on, and breathe it deep into your heart, feeling that fresh, life-giving energy from your breath filling your heart and creating new, light, spacious sensations. Let them flow and spread out. Let it spread out and fill your whole chest cavity. As I now reach in and start to pull out some of the heaviness that we've loosened up throughout this process. Feel as though some of that gravity, some of that heaviness surrounding all of this is being pulled out gently, slowly, and beautifully and safely. Feel that heaviness, that gravity moving out and dissipating as you feel it being pulled out of your heart.
And filling it with light.
Yeah, I'm going to pull 3 times and then fill with light.
Okay.
A second pull, feeling even more of it coming out. Feeling the heaviness starting to leave. And as the heaviness is pulled out, as it dissipates and leaves, feel how much more room there is in there, the spaciousness that's opening up in your heart. And it may almost feel like something's missing. But that's okay. Don't contract around that. We're going to fill it with light once I pull this last bit out.
Yeah, there's actually codes that want to return to your heart space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it, my love.
Okay. Siakai si tuan ti si shuadas. Goyata hianata hiatas. Duanata hi shuanat. Hiata kai hiatu. Duanana hi sis. Shuanayeta hiatak. Gonasata hiatash. Duata hiatasis. Giananai si shuan. Diasasa shuan ti kianat. Hiasas. Dayata hiananai. Di si shuan. Doakai. Donakai. Hiata hiasasa no shuantai. Tasashanai. Jisais. Uananai. Hiasa. Kasanata sosuan. Dua sa seshisuanas. Tasia tatai hikuana sa susuan. Duananais. Hiasata hianakas. Duanada sisianatai. Duanadais. Noticing how your heart feels.
Take another one of those deep breaths, breathing in the fresh air, breathing in fresh energy into your heart, deeply into your heart as you inhale. Exhaling, feeling it all soften and expand. Inhale, it comes in, goes down to your heart. Exhale, it softens and expands. Tune in, as Eric said, to your heart. Feel it. How do you feel now? All this energy is obviously still flowing and still moving. We're going to allow it to do so. We want to check in. How do you feel now, Gabriella? Let us know. We're just checking in. Be as descriptive as you can. How you feel.
And letting the breath remain soft and open and gentle. Lighter, tingly, tears flowed like a river. That's so beautiful. Release.
Beautiful.
Oops.
Gabriella, is there any of that? We were at a 9 before. Are we at a 0 now? And if we're not at a 0, let us know what number we're at. You're at a 9. So you're feeling light, tingly, tears flowing, relaxed. Are you at a 0? And that doesn't mean permanently. I just mean for this moment. For this moment right now, when you're tuning into your heart and feeling it, are we at a 0 or are we at another number?
I haven't allowed myself to cry.
That's so beautiful.
So proud of you.
Crying is so beautiful. I love it. And I always feel very honored when people feel safe to to cry around us during healings.
I know, me
I feel
too.
deeply honored by that. So thank you.
Yes, I believe so. You believe you're at a 0. That's what I think.
Beautiful. Yeah, look at that. 9 out of 10 grief, heaviness, burning heartache, and sadness.
You say you're both very beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We want people to know that this is possible, that it's possible. Feeling that intensely uncomfortable emotionally, feeling so much suffering, and in just a few minutes, we can completely shift the way that we feel. We're all capable of doing this on our own, We want people to know that. So
It takes a loving devotion
it
and
does.
practice, and we're not taught how to emotionally regulate or regulate our nervous systems, or even to feel safe in our bodies. We're conditioned to dissociate from our bodies. So this is it's work. It's like hard work, but it's like devotion and love, and it gets to feel good too, like release feels good. It feels good to let things flow, and you did so amazing. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. And if you did want to show your gratitude in some small way, you can donate. There's a link to our PayPal in the description. You could also leave a super chat or a super sticker right here. It's right that little $ next to the chat where you are. Hugs to you too.
Hugs to you.
And Gabrielle, if you want to go a little bit deeper into the medicine, if you want to address some of the deeper root causes and bring about a more permanent resolution to these things, do not hesitate to reach out to us, email us, book a session. We'd love to work with you more deeply. That would be an honor. So thank you so much. We really appreciate that. And I think it's just so beautiful that you came forward brave enough to not only admit to yourself, but to us and everyone how you're feeling and that you're ready to change. I think that's amazing. So I really do want to say thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Is gratitude.
Gratitude to you too, sister. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Do you want to call it there?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. Thank you, everyone. We really appreciate you and love you so much. I just want to say real quick for everyone who's here, we do have an event coming up at Sacred Waters Kava Bar in North Olmsted, the 28th of this month of March
At
at
6 p.m.
6 p.m. If you want to come for a group healing event, we're going to let whatever wants to come through. It'll be really beautiful. Would love to see you there if you're local.
Yeah, and the kava bar also has ethnobotanical teas like kava and kanna and kratom and cacao. So you can grab a drink and hang out with us. We'll be chatting a little bit before and after, and then have a beautiful experience all together.
And please, if you want to catch us live again for more beautiful talks and healings, subscribe and turn on the notifications so that you get notified when we go live. Thank you all so much.
Yes, thank you. And hello, Sid.
Hi, Sid. Love you guys so much. Thank you
Yes,
all.
thank you for joining us. Have a beautiful weekend.
Anaki kuyaki urpichai